While binging the show Modern Love on Amazon Prime recently, I decided to teach myself how to play that show's terrific theme song, Setting Sail. I started the way I always do, by finding the original recording on a streaming platform and then breaking it down section by ear at the piano. Once I felt I had it, I went looking for some tutorials and covers on YouTube so I could compare my analysis to what other musicians had come up with. And that's when things took an interesting turn. First, I discovered that there aren't any tutorials for this wonderful little song, only covers. So I promise I'll be rectifying that in the near future. Second, I discovered that nearly every cover of this song on YouTube is played incorrectly. All but one, in fact. The third thing I noticed, though, and the reason I'm making this video, is that most of the covers are wrong in exactly the same ways. And that suggested a primary suspect. I searched the web for the term Setting Sail Modern Love chords, and sure enough, someone had posted the wrong chords on a popular Guitar Tab website, which shall remain nameless. And they were the very same wrong chords most of the YouTubers were using in their covers. Not surprisingly, the second most popular Guitar Tab site, which shall also remain nameless, was responsible for all the other mistakes YouTubers were making. Welcome to the internet age, in which thousands of people naively and unquestioningly reproduce errors posted by just one or two overly enthusiastic people who didn't check their work before posting it. And as I've pointed out in other videos, musicians who lack ear training don't know what they don't know, so they're responsible for most of the mistakes that get replicated. Don't get me wrong, I don't expect covers to be cut and paste clones of original recordings. They can be, of course. Cover bands and tribute bands, for instance, get paid specifically to perform faithful reproductions of familiar favorites. But a good cover can also be a clever or poignant variation on the original. Phoebe Bridgers' take on Teenage Dirtbag and Johnny Cash's interpretation of Hurt come pretty quickly to mind, to say nothing of my own hauntingly beautiful rendition of Tuyo. But there's a difference between making an artistically creative choice that's intentionally distinct from the original and just being wrong because you don't know any better. It's understandable, for instance, to occasionally substitute a C minor 9 for a C minor, but it's indefensible to mistake a C minor for a C major. And yet. Look, spreading incorrect chords on the internet isn't nearly as consequential as spreading misinformation about vaccines or election results, but it's every bit as avoidable, and the solution for one is the same as the other. Verify before sharing. Just because the first guy to post his chord analysis on your favorite tab site got a lot of upvotes or stars or smiley faces or whatever stands in for approval these days, doesn't mean he's right. Most of the people who go looking for guitar tabs, the very people leaving all those upvotes and positive comments, are there precisely because they don't have much, if any, ear training. So they're even less likely to catch mistakes than the eager beaver who posted the wrong chords in the first place. Bottom line, you have to check the work yourself. And if you don't trust your abilities yet, at least check the work against someone else's work. And by someone else, I mean someone who isn't just copying the first guy's mistakes. You'll often need to consult 4 or 5 different sources to get to the truth. So see if you can find 1 or 2 different tab sheets, a couple of video tutorials, and several covers of the song you're trying to learn. Then compare them with each other. When you find disagreements among the sources, check those spots against the original recording. One of the first things I look for when analyzing a song is a video of the original artist playing the song live, especially an unplugged acoustic version. Hearing the song with all those other instruments and effects out of the way can help a lot, to say nothing of the value of being able to see the musician's hands while he or she plays the instrument. If you can find a video like that, you might not need any of the other sources I recommended previously. Sometimes an artist will even post tutorials of his or her own work, and that, of course, is the gold standard. James Valentine, for example, has posted a set of tutorials for several Maroon 5 songs, and James Taylor has done the same thing over on his own YouTube channel. But better still, get some ear training and start figuring out songs on your own. At least get enough training to be able to tell when the people posting tabs and tutorials are wrong. I just happen to have a couple of super helpful videos on ear training, so please check those out when you're finished here. As always, links down below. I get why you might want to cut corners and learn songs from tabs and tutorials instead of breaking them down by ear. But every time you do that, you're missing another opportunity to become a better musician, rather than just somebody who knows one more song. Teach a man to fish, as the saying goes. Toward that end, I've decided to start working on a new tutorial explaining how to analyze songs by ear, even if you don't have much music theory under your belt. If you don't want to miss that, and if you don't want to miss my upcoming tutorial for the song Setting Sail, click subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. Alas, my primary keyboard is in the repair shop right now, so it might be a couple of months before I get those tutorials posted. In the meantime, watch my videos on ear training and start working immediately with at least one of the ear training apps I demonstrate there. Just a few minutes a day can make a huge difference over time. All right, that's enough ranting for one video. Remember, verify before you share, and I'll see you next time.